would you... Now, when you were little, Mummy looked after you when you were a baby.
Daddy would.
Now, who would you like to look after you now all the time? Mummy or Daddy? Who would you like? Who would you reckon? Daddy! Oh no!
Well, there you go.
Poor Mummy.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm John.
And we're going to be talking today about shared parental leave and what it means for families going forward. So, from the 5th of April 2015, parents will get an equal responsibility in the way in which they manage their childcare and work situation after the birth of their baby. This kicks in for babies due on or after the 5th of April. So our situation was, we've got a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter. When the 4-year-old was born, we were both working full time. I was contracted to work away a week of the month, and I went on maternity leave. I had almost 10 months off, and you had your 2 weeks paternity, which I think is all that Dad's got at the time. And then I went back to work part-time after having her in a slightly lower spec job role because I didn't want to travel. And then when our littlest was born, I continued, I went on maternity leave again. I was at the same job, and I again took the whole year's maternity leave, and then I actually ended up, after the birth of her, handing in my notice and going freelance. The government's done some research and some surveys into how parents feel following the birth of their children, and a third of dads say that they regret not taking enough time after the birth of their baby, time off work. Do you feel that you had enough time? You had 2 weeks with both. What?
I think with the first one, it was quite scary because it was, first of all, you're in a hospital for a day or two, and then you're given this little child to look after, and you haven't a clue what you're doing. And then you go through such a journey over the first 2 weeks.
You have so many visitors as well, don't you?
Yeah.
To see you.
Yeah, no, it is quite a hectic time. And then all of a sudden these 2 weeks are up, and you have to leave your wife at home with this child who you still haven't got the handle of how to look after properly yet. And then you've got.
I felt like we were just getting into our groove a little bit, and we were just sort of kind of getting into, not a routine, because how can you have a routine with a newborn baby? But we were getting, used to it. We were sort of, enjoying it, and we were enjoying it a little bit more. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, you're back at work. And I remember both times actually, the day that you went back to work, and I don't know whether a lot of mums or parents will agree with me, but I was so upset. I really, really didn't want you to go back. It's difficult because we breastfed. I breastfed both our girls, and so automatically I think it kind of and it's we automatically assumed that they would I would be off work with them. Now with this going forward, where if we have another baby, what would it be something that you'd consider with the way in which the scheme works? You can take blocks of time. So say for example, I could take the first 6 months off, and then
I think that's how it would have worked, especially with your breastfeeding. I think I would have maybe taken the first couple of weeks off. You do the first 6 months, and then I would have done the remainder of the months. And
do you think that's something that we would potentially? I mean, to me, I think it is so important. You are a very hands-on dad. You enjoy being with the girls. It's something that definitely I think we would take up. Would you feel like any less of a man if you were to stay at home? Say for example with our next baby, I ended up, bar the first few weeks, I then ended up working, and
I think for us it would probably depend on money, if I'm honest. If you earn more, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. But for me per se, no, I wouldn't have a problem. But I think maybe the reaction of other people,
there is, and
there's still a stigma attached.
There is a little bit of a stigma, and hopefully this new thing will come into play and it will change it. So if you want to find out more information about shared parental leave, you just need to head over to the gov.uk website, where there'll be all the details. And as we said, this kicks in from the 5th of April. Babies due on or after the 5th of April 2015. So it's been really actually interesting for me chatting about it and learning sort of your thoughts and your experiences, and hopefully going forward, if we were to have another baby, as we said, this can only bring more flexibility to our family, which can only be a good thing.
No, I agree.
So